Hello, my crafty friends, and happy Throwback Thursday. I'm going to hang on to fish for a little bit. If anybody joins me. If not, I will go ahead and oh, hello. Am I feeling better? No, Kim, I'm still not feeling well at all. You can probably hear me. I sound like I've got a couple frogs in my throat. I think after everything that's been going on, I'm finally, I don't know. It just keeps coming back and forth and whatever. So, anyway. Hi, Ellie. Oh, that's okay. I just expect it to be one of those things. I'm hoping another week or so I'm going to feel back to whatever semi-normal is. I haven't felt normal for a while. Not a good thing to say, but anyway. And how's everyone coping with the wonderful heat that we've been having? I mean, I love summer, and I really do, but this is kind of getting gross. We need rain so bad. The Moira River here is down to, like, you can see the bottom, and it's like barren spots. It's scary, so going to be another gardening season down the tubes, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, it's cooler today, but we didn't get any rain. I think we had like 3 or 4 sprinkles, but not enough to register. So anyway, it is what it is. So anyway. So in finishing off the month of July with Craft and Creamy stamps, I chose a Throwback Thursday using the stamp set Woolly Wonderland and the little lamb sheep. And so I made it into a gift card holder. Oops. And that's what I did with it. Something simple, something easy, something to add on to your stash of card patterns that you're trying to build up. Really easy. And then I used a little technique in here for making the to give some texture to the fur, the lamb's wool. Really simple, and I'll show you how to do that. Basically alcohol, and I just use plain alcohol, rubbing alcohol, not the other stuff. Anyway, and I used 2 colors of lovely Craft and Creamy ink. I used Lucky Limeade, Amazing Azure, and I used the Woolly Wonderland stencil. Alrighty, so what I will do, I'll tell you what I did, and then I'll start with the card. What I did is, and I've got an awful cough, and I apologize. So what I did is I cut out, or I stamped and cut the body for my card. And I wasn't sure what one I was going to use, so then the face I was going to use. So I cut a bunch of them out, stamped and cut, colored them up, and then decided what I was going to do. Does that make sense? I know I'm all over the place. So if you want to stamp up your images, you can. Otherwise, we're here. And yeah, so I guess I'll start with the card. I will put the measurements of the card in the group. Or in a file on the group when we're done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this card is really easy. It's made with 1 piece of cardstock, and that'll get you the whole card. Okay, and I found this online. Of course I did. So what I'm going to need is a base of my card, which is going to measure 10.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut that out here. Find my scissors. Or my scissors, my paper trimmer. I haven't done a lot of paper crafting either. I'm kind of I've been out of commission for a while, so anyway. So 5.5, 1, 2, 5.5 by 10.5. Alrighty. Oops. And that's what happens. And then I'm going to score along here. You can see. I will score at 2 inches. And then again at 6.25. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so that'll give us our fold card like this. And what I will do while here is I'm going to fold this over. And it'll probably need a little bit of a trim. Because that won't go. So I'll probably just trim off like 1/8 of that. 1/8 of an inch. Just give it a little bit of a haircut. That should fit there. Yep, much better. Okay, so now we're going to need to make the piece here, which is the gift card holder, slider, whatever it is. So for this, we're going to need a piece that measures pardon, 3 inches by 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3 inches by 4 inches, which is conveniently right here, using their scraps. And then we're going to measure 1 inch over on here. Oh, I got it again. And it could be approximately 1 inch. So I'm going to measure about here to here. I cut on my paper trimmer from here to here. Does that make sense, everybody? It's not rocket science if it's not exact. It's a flap for inside card. There we go. So that will fit in here. And like you said, it'll fit here. Alrighty. Okay, so this is the insides that the card pieces are done. The card base is done. I'm going to need a piece of white cardstock. Sorry. Oh, man. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The panel I'm going to do now, I'm going to need one panel here, which is going to measure 4 by 5.25. This will be the inside panel of my card. Okay, so that'll be this panel here. And I will put that there. And then I'm going to need a panel for my stenciling. So my stenciling panel, I'm going to do a 6 by 6, the same size as my stencil. Alrighty, so if I'm not making any sense, I'll keep an eye on the comments. Somebody let me know. So for these, I used Lucky Limeade ink and Amazing Azure. I wanted to use something that was a little bit non-traditional for Christmas and that blended. Red and green are Christmas, but they don't really blend very well. Yeah. So anyway, I just winged it. Has anybody done anything spectacular over this summer? Gone traveling, done anything, gone anywhere? I'm just going to blend it wherever. Going anywhere? I was talking my, well, as you probably may know or may not know, my mother had been quite ill the last, since beginning of February, and she passed away on the 5th of July. So there's all that going on as well. And I haven't done a lot of crafting, or gone too much or done too much. But anyway, life goes on. So my brother and I were talking about taking a trip. Brookshire the first. Oh, awesome. That sounds amazing. Just wait. You'll never be able to keep me in control again, Kim. I'm just blending it wherever I see fit. My brother and I, we've talked about going to the Kingston Pen. Now, I live about 45 minutes from Kingston, where I am here, and I've never been. So we've talked about going. I think we're going to be going maybe sometime in September, just with our respective spouses, etc. And just something a little bit different. So that'll be my extent of my summer excitement. Other than having my grandkids are coming up on the 11th for a week, so that's always a lot of fun. I get a lot of scrapbook inspiration when they're here. So, oh, thanks, Ellie. Yeah, it's one of those things, we all don't get out of this world alive, and she's not in pain anymore, so that's what matters. But, yeah. So I haven't been in the crafting field for a lot, and, Kim and the ladies have been very supportive. I feel like I haven't really picked up what I should be doing, but it's not been an issue with them, so... Anyway, so I'll clean that stencil off later. Side note, when I clean my stencils, I've been starting to use this scrubby soap. It's got like a bit of a pad on it, so I just wet my stencil and wet this, rub it over top in the sink, and the ink comes right off. So I don't know if it's that good for anybody or what, but that's what I tried one day, and I like it, so... Anyway, here we are. So, oh, thanks, Kim. I love you guys too. I'm lucky to find a good group of ladies. So what I'm going to do now is I need to fill in and trim this down. Oh, I keep banging it. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I have a 6x6 piece, or 5.5 by 5.5. Now, I'm going to MacGyver this a little bit. I'm going to see which is the highest. That's 5.5 high. So I'm doing, I need one piece that measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'll be going here this way. 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, right here. 1 3/4. I think this is 5 1/4. Just a little bit. And 5 1/4. Alrighty. So what's going to go where? This will go here. With this over top for the pouch. And this will go on the front. Okay. Now for this one, I ink blended over the edges in green. I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to leave this one a little bit like a cleaner look to it. And while I'm here, I'm going to add these panels here. Or not. Hey, Shannon. Hugs back. Miss you. Oh, my getting together with my crafty friends. It's been quite the year for a bunch of us, hasn't it? Alrighty. So we have this. And then I will do this. And then when I go to attach this, I want to be able to put a gift card in it or something. So I'm only going to go right along the very edge of this. There. Just like that. And I'll hold it a little bit. There. Okay. Oops. And then, while I'm here, when I did my card, I thought it really needs something that's a little bit more of a contrast. Because I didn't like the look of it being too plain with just the green. So I found in my stash, of course, a color that just sort of that kind of matched it pretty good. It's a great way to go through and use up all your bits and pieces of your stash. And you never know. It needed a fine pattern because the like a smaller pattern because the pattern for the Woolly Wonderland was pretty old. So a smaller pattern or a solid color or a solid color cardstock that you might want to emboss. Emboss with a stencil, emboss with an embossing folder that you've got. Anyway. Alrighty, so this is the back of the card. I should say the inside, the back fold flap. So if you wanted to, I mean, you could make a card like that if you didn't have the flap to it. And then this one, I am going to, hey, if we're going to ink, we may as well ink and get dirty all at once, right? So I'll just find my stamping platform. And on this one, I'm going to have on here Jingle All the Way. And this. My room is so bad in here. Oh my gosh, it's awful. I've got a cough. I apologize. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Okay, so there's going to be where my little heads, my deers, or my lamb is going to go. And Jingle All the Way. Oh, excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to go to a coffee. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. So jingle all the way. And yes, I think I cut them apart, but they do go back right together, see? I did a little plastic surgery. Unless you're doing it live. There we go. Alrighty. Hi, Margaret. Okay, so put these here. And I will use my Craft & Kimmy Wicked Black ink. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Go again. Anyway, I apologize. Of course. One more. Perfect. I will clean that later. Alrighty. So I will attach this in here while I'm here. And then that way I'm not going to lose pieces because you never know. Alrighty. So we have the card all here. Oh, shoot, I know what I forgot to do. Think ahead, right? I did not stamp my Jingle Ball on the front like I had done here, but that's okay. It's like that old thing, think ahead. Just get my full platform out. So, what I'm going to do is, I'll put this way. And I just want to make sure that when I put my stamp, my Jingle Ball, it's not going to be in the way of my circles, which would be right here. No, that'd be fine. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Penny. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to stamp it up in black again. There we go. Is everybody participating in the Christmas in July event? You've got, today's the last day of July, so One more. And you could emboss it, heat emboss it too if you wanted to, so. Alrighty, so I will do that later. Okay. Alrighty, so there's my card. All I have to do now is color in my images. Alrighty, so first of all, like I said, it was a big decision on what images to color. So originally I colored all 3 of them. Not sure what one I was going to use. And then I made my decision after I colored them. Does anybody do that? Well, considering there was so many to choose from. Okay. So, let's sit down and go through my colors. Pardon me. I guess I'll move this down a little bit. How's that? Is that okay there? Whoops. Is that okay? Okay, let's see what happens. So, I use my N for my grays. And I started off, I'm going to change my glasses. There we go, that's better. My N5, I'm going to color its legs. And I always make sure especially when I'm cutting them out, I have lots. I've stamped lots because you never know if I might lose some of my images to blobs or changing color. 4 and 5 and 4. Oh, I am so sorry, everybody. And 4. Anyway. I forgot to ask if the volume's okay. Hopefully I'm not deafening you with my coughing, so. And 4 and 2. And then in 2. All is good. Good. Thanks, Allie. Alrighty. So, what I did with this one is I wanted to give the illusion of fur. So, I tried the technique with the rag and the colorless blender or alcohol. So, I used N0, and all I did is I scribbled around the edge. Nothing spectacular. Just getting it nice and colored. Just like this. And then I got my alcohol, rubbing alcohol, or colorless blender solution. And I dumped a little, like just one squirt, or not squirt, but just like one back off sort of thing. And I used a long nap, thick nap, something with a good nap. I used something like a microfiber cloth before, and I didn't really like, because I didn't really give much of a look to it. So I'm just going to dab all the way around, just gently. And set it aside. And we'll see what happens. How's that? Right, put them over there. If I don't like the look of it, I have another one cut out that we can always do. Alrighty, so I'm going to follow the same as this one, as the one that I did for the front, or for the demo. And I'm going to do this one for the inside, and I'll do this one for the outside, or for the outside of the card, or front of the card. Duh. Okay, so I will. I'm using my, oh man, I'm sorry. My YG25. Oh, so sorry. 25. $23. So if you want, you can use a different, like you can use pinks, pink and oranges, just, you know, shade them out, whatever you want. And then I'll use my blues. I used B2. Or pardon me, BO2, I should say. And B00. Alrighty. And for the bells, I used a couple dashes of let me see, a nice gold. Does that work? I used a couple dots of YR24 on the jingle bells, but I'm going to cover them with stickles anyways. Of course I will. Okay. And then the N0 again for the face. Now I covered it, but I wasn't going crazy to make sure, as long as it had color on it. And then I believe I had an area that was still wet, did I? Yeah, just damp. And I'm just going to go over top this a little bit, avoiding my blues. There. We'll see what happens with that. And then when it dries, I'll do the nose. And I'll color in yeah, you can sort the heads out too, to make them suit the personality of the person you're going to give your card to. Okay, so we have YG17. Sounds like a bingo. Okay. And I'm just going, just a random flicking through here, shadows, whatever I find. Nothing has to be, I find for these, like, leaves are never perfect and they're all different anyways, so, especially with something like this. And I'm just going to, as I said, go dark, medium, and light, and then we can sort them out with colors and go from there. And if you want to, you can always sort out a whole bunch of, fix it all with glitter, as we all know. Okay, 25, YG 25. Oh, man. I am so sorry. Oh. If I was home by myself, I wouldn't be talking. I'd be good. Anyway. And my kids used to like when I was sick and I got laryngitis because I couldn't talk. And when I got better, I could make up for it. So I'm just sort of dotting these to fill in. Oh, it's okay, Kim. It's part of my life. And YG 23, I'm just going to fill everything in. Anyway, I won't be singing, let me see, that's for sure. And like I said, I'll put all the measurements in that for the card. The templates, not a template, but the measurements on a file. I'll probably do it tomorrow. And I'll let you know when I've got it done. Alrighty, I think I've got all these. I think I have them all. Oh, thanks, Joyce. Okay, so back to my N0. I can find it where I put it. N0 right here. And I'll just go along here and just fill it in. I'm sure there's a more fancy Copic way to do this, but it worked for me. So, and then onto my damp, very damp rag. Okay. So, the nose, I'll use an RV10. I'll do both of the noses at the same time. And this nose. And for the berries, I'm just going to color them simply in with an R37, just to give it a little bit of color contrast. Oops, R37. And of course, just a couple dots. I think that works. Is that it? That's it. And got my noses done. I think I need to touch a little more green up. Funny how you always look back. When you look back at it and say, oh, I missed. I think that works. Alrighty. So I'm going to go, oh, that turned out too badly. You can see that. Stop talking. You're funny, Kim. Have you known me to stop talking? How's that look? I think it kind of looks like it's got texture. It's smooth, but anyway. So now what I'm going to do is somehow, there we go. What I did is just to give it a little, so on the back of my card, I don't want to see this. So, this is the fancy front, or the fancy circle. Okay, so I'm going to, and I just sort of doubled up my circle with a plain one and a pattern one. Or to use a thicker cardstock, whatever's good for you. That would have made more sense, but hey. Okay, so we have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my little guy onto here, just with plain glue. Oh, good, Ellie. Yeah, let me know how it turns out. Like I said, it's a pretty easy technique. Can you just make sure you don't get it too wet, because you're going to lose some of that stuff, or some of that texture look. And then, of course, I just noticed I got some, here. So, there we are. And for the head, I'm going to use a little bit of foam tape. I've got to have some someplace, good Lord. There we are. My room is such a mess. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing anything tomorrow except cleaning up my room. Oh, and then we're trying to move all my mom's stuff. So some of it's coming back here. Yeah, anyway. They're labors of love. And my mom was an avid watercolorer, I guess. So I think I'm going to maybe look into another hobby. Does that make sense? Anyway, so how's that? Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I will attach my jingle all the way into here with plain glue. Yeah, you can sort of see if you sort of see the texture on it, I guess. And I'll just attach him to here. And I will do that in a bit. And this little guy, I will attach sort of half and half, like this. So I will make sure that I only attach this part of this part, okay, as you would do for any fancy flip fold thing type card. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much. I'm almost done. So like I said, if you, oh, here we go again. I'm sorry. So if you decided that you didn't want to make it into the, what do you call it? The, fold, whatever, you could just have the, you know, two-thirds, one-third sort of thing for the card. And then just flip it open to have this on the inside. All kinds of possibilities. And then at the end, like I said, don't forget, you always initial or sign your work to make sure that someone knows that you made it. It's your artwork. You should be proud. And that's it. I'm just going to add in my, get it again. I'll add my little stickles, and then they can dry, and then I'll do the inside one. You can add stickles, you can add whatever you like, liquid pearls, liquid, what do you call that stuff? Glossy accents, whatever you like. Oh, and I gotta go back and, did I color his nose? Yes, I did color the nose. And that's it. So that's it. Thank you very much. Hope I didn't bore you or cough your poor ears off. I apologize. But yeah, I hope you like it. And I'll put the directions and the cutting guide stuff up in the group. I'm looking at probably doing it tomorrow. Thank you so much. Yes, boss, I will relax and take it easy tonight. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye for now.